Hello, it's Lee Cassidy from Tactile Technology, and today we're going through and doing our first of our Verkada Wednesdays. So what I'm going to cover today is just giving you a picture of what we're going to do over the next few weeks. Those who aren't aware of Verkada is a physical security platform that allows us to do many more things than the traditional CCTV that you would normally see. So to start out off with, we're looking at a CCTV done in a different way. So traditional systems would have cameras connected over coax cables or through Cat5, Cat6 data cabling to a centralized digital recorder or network recording device. And then the software there would actually allow you to view that footage and also to be able to do some manipulation like search for things, download particular piece of footage and utilize it. But it's quite basic. And coming back to the history of Verkada, it's the same founder that founded the Meraki platform some time ago, which was brought out from a project at MIT. And the idea at that time was to take Wi-Fi and make it much more user-friendly and take away a lot of the complexity of infrastructure that it had at that time. So what the same founder's done is taken CCTV and done the same. So removing all the components that you don't really need. If you think about it, the key thing you need is a camera. You need to be able to, take that image and optically digitize it to be able to send it somewhere to be utilized, whether that's a live view or to later look back at that footage in some way. So all we've got is cameras. A number of internal and external camera models, depending on what you're trying to view. And also we're using a cloud platform. So all those images will be recorded locally and then saved locally for anything between 30 and 365 days actually on each of the cameras. And then footage from there will be sent up using very bandwidth utilized abilities to send it up to the cloud platform using about 20k of bandwidth. So it uses very little bandwidth to do it. When you actually stream it, it's only going to use around 2 meg of bandwidth. And if you're actually on the site where the cameras are, it's going to stream locally over the LAN as well to utilize that local bandwidth and not actually go out over the internet in any way, shape or form. So some real benefits there. But the key thing is, how do you then make that more useful from a CCTV perspective? So using things like AI to actually identify people and vehicles, you can actually find footage really quickly. And it's really simple to bring multiple cameras together to actually see footage that's synchronized across maybe a car park where a vehicle comes in through a gate and it drives through the car park, and you can see it at different stages with the different cameras, but all in synchronized. You can also, if you see an incident, so you've got a security incident, something's broken into a building, or they look like they're going to vandalize or steal a piece of equipment, what we can do is take that information and create an incident. So all the video footage, but automatically identify the faces of the individuals involved and look for them on other cameras to see where they may have been seen. So there's a lot of things you can do with Verkada that's very different to a traditional system. What we'll also look at over the next few weeks is how this can be utilized in different type of settings. One of them could be within a school or in a college environment where safeguarding is one of the key things that you're looking at. So how can we ensure both staff and students are safeguarded effectively in that environment, but also look out for behavioral issues, identifying fighting, bullying, anything that could be seen as a challenge, including vaping, which has become a real issue within a lot of schools, both in the UK and in other countries. We can also then integrate this CCTV platform with access control, so managing where people can have access to. So that's one thing, controlling where people can go, but also understanding where they are. So looking at occupancy trends, but also looking at who's in which building at any one time. We can actually create what we call areas to actually show where people are if you need to find them, but also get a record of where they are if you had some kind of emergency or something else happening. The ability to do a lockdown. Now, I know in the US it's a major issue, especially with gun crime, that lockdowns are an inevitable fact over there. But in this country, we're starting to see lockdown requirements for behavioral issues and knife crimes as well. So again, the platform is very good at allowing you to actually lock down an environment, but also allow the people that need to move around freely can move around. So specific people that will respond to that situation. If you look in manufacturing, it's a quite different thing we're looking at there. In a lot of cases, it's more around health and safety than it is security. So making sure that people are doing what they need to be safe, but also we can identify any safety related issues and again create an incident and manage those. That could be damage of equipment through negligence. It could be looking for accidents where people have had accidents with racking, with vehicles, forklifts, and many other things. One thing you can do with this platform that you can't do with others, which we'll go into more depth later, is identify where people are in areas they shouldn't be. If you've got vehicle maneuvering areas, we can actually identify if people are in those spaces to ensure that we get them out as soon as possible to save them being involved in an accident. We can also do things like watching the direction vehicles go down, say, a one-way system. And if a vehicle does go the wrong way, again, we can identify that and alert someone to the fact before it becomes an accident. So we're looking at prevention rather than just providing evidence of what's happened afterwards. There are other things we can do around alarm systems as well. So we can integrate an alarm system to control who's actually in a building when out of hours and identify people moving towards the building, so crossing lines or standing in areas, loitering before they even get to the building. So we've got more of a proactive way of identifying if there's going to be a challenge with our building. So people moving towards the windows and doors, we can stop it, and we can even do talk down through the monitored platform. So lots of things that are quite different here. But if we look at other areas, so in manufacturing, we can also look at internal cameras and look at batch numbers and feed that data into the system and quite quickly go to a particular camera and look at a particular batch to identify any challenges with the manufacturer of a particular product, especially food products. We can also do the same in a retail environment. So we can actually have the payment data fed into the camera system. So if what someone says that their card was used fraudulently, we can quite quickly put the transaction number in and actually find that transaction and see the video footage of that transaction taking place. And we can see if it was actually the card holder trying to defraud their card company, or if it was a true false use of the card by someone who'd taken or cloned that card, and quite quickly utilize that to actually capture the culprit. But we can actually reduce the amount of theft in an organization. There are a number of retailers that we can get to give some reference of this, but we're looking at a reduction of 60% in the amount of theft once the system has been put in place, which is a massive amount of theft reduction. And in some organizations, that can be a massive amount of money, especially if it's an high price product line. So these are kind of things we're going to cover over the next few weeks, giving some options to look at particular case studies in your environment and understanding how it would affect you and the benefits you would actually gain from it. And that's one of the key things that we do at Tactile, is to try and help you understand how you would benefit from the technology rather than a generic benefit that everybody would get. It's focused on you and how you will actually get that value. Most of our customers get real value within a few weeks and sometimes in a few days. We know of a school that's actually identified 3 key issues around safeguarding, bullying and theft within the first week of having the system in place, which is quite unique. And also we've found manufacturers who've identified both health and safety and environmental issues within 15 minutes of the cameras coming online, which again is unheard of in normal platforms. So we can do a lot of really unique things and help you as an organization to understand how you can actually do more with less, but doing it in a different way. So join me in the future every Wednesday, 1 p.m. We may have some recorded ones, and we'll note that if they've been pre-recorded, which will be next week will be live. The following 2 weeks will be pre-recorded because I'm actually going away on holiday, but we're going to pre-record them. And we're going to have lots of guests from Verkada on with us. So different people from the commercial teams, also from the pre-sales teams, talking through some of the real benefits of the new features and functionality that have been added on the platform, but also talk about how end users are getting real benefit from those features and functionality. So like I say, join me next Wednesday, 1 o'clock. We will start going through the basics and give you some understanding of how the system operates and the generic type of benefits. And then as we go through the weeks, we're going to focus on manufacturing, healthcare, looking at things in an educational perspective, and also look at other areas that you might get some real benefit in retail and another premise. So hopefully I'll see you next week at 1 o'clock. Make it a regular thing in your diary, and I'll see you then. Thank you very much.